All right, people. This is on being news. A quick message. Not really a recap, but just a quick message to address some things. Let me. I apologize about. First off, let me start all things by saying El Kalum and peace and divine love and light to all. But because Rahu is back. Also, peace, shalom, assalamu alaikum, hotep that are out there that I miss, and to all people. Um, First I want to apologize for last night for the out there waiting to see the Saturday Night Lights where we bring it to you live with that Etheric vibe. And last night's show was supposed to be about coming down. And I just want to say it didn't take place. You know, we be doing a lot of hours sometimes, and we're gonna start up so people get a good just or split my videos in half, part 1 and 2. We're going for hours, and sometimes people don't have all those hours to listen. But we're not gonna stop our format. If it flows, it flows. You know, if it goes, it goes. That's just how we do it over here. I wanted to address because it's Chuck Morgan dude, man. He be really getting on my nerves sometimes. Chuck is there to do what he do. Well, shall I say Larry? You know, because that's his real name. And like I say all the time, for those that don't know, I know Larry personally. You know, I was at once living in DC or Maryland. I was going to the tab, actually mental hotep rooms, aka mental hotep, did my birth ceremony. So this Chuck dude, man, with all these videos with this plagiarization thing, saying Doc plagiarized this and Doc plagiarized that, especially Zachariah Stitching. And I started, you know, I shoot things on the Chuck videos. You know, Chuck don't respond to me because me and Chuck talked recently. You know what I mean? He know I know what's the haps. And I know he knows that the information is real. He's really shooting at the Patarak and not actually shooting at the old information. Everyone knows here, I don't deal with the Patarak. That's just me. You know what I mean? Like I say, if you don't fuck with something, just say it. You don't fuck with it, I don't fuck with it. It's not for me. But I respect those that it's there for. But don't just come off and say that this is what we all must follow because we all are descendants to different species of the Anunnaki. Whether you recognize the Anunnaki or not, if you think they all reptilians, that's your business. But they're not all reptilians. They're a group of different race of beings that came together throughout the universe for the Intergalactic Confederation. You know who's the head of the Intergalactic Confederation. The Anunnakis are. Regardless to what anyone says, that's facts. Right there. You deal with, that's what you do. If you're the direct descendants of the Hindus or the Pygmies, now on Earth, within this earthly realm, yes, we all have in us. Period. It was a part of the process. It was, matter of fact, it was the main first process. You know what I mean? Because when they came to this planet, the Meldekians were here. You understand that? And the Meldekians or direct line associated with the reptilians, because there's many different sector or species of reptilians. Now, all of them are just lizard creatures. Some are fish people, dagas, nomas, whatever you want to name. But this was their planet when we came in. So, with us saying that, Chuck shit. And I'm gonna get with my boy Yawel later or someone. I'm gonna put this out there. Anyone that has pictures or have the video clip or the class where Zachariah Stitching was on the land, sitting in class in front row with his recorder, the master teacher, Dr. Malachi Z. York, please post it or send it to me. This is how people like Bucky Chuck, you know what I mean, is able to slip his little bullshit propaganda slanderism, as in saying that the master teacher didn't pay respect or homage or mention any authors that he may have reformed their information to the correct way to right knowledge. You understand? To tell the true story of who we were and who those people were in ancient Sumer times and way before ancient Sumer time. So, with doing so and saying so, him being at those classes, that's how he revised his new to his books, his series, whether it's the War of the Gods, Gods of the Chariot of Gods, so forth and so on. Whatever book title that they say he claimed to, has plagiarized and publicated. And anyone that knows, this is how he's able to do it with this new generation of people that's coming up that never studied science or never studied the HTM science or never studied the Ansar Allah rule community science or the Islamic Hebrew, you know what I mean? Or any other doctrines that Doc brought on. You would not know if you didn't have those scrolls. You would not know that Doc put in all scrolls Zachariah Sitchin's book collection. You know what I mean? Dr. York's in the back of the scrolls, he always paid homage. Stitching. Anyone that was in those classes at that time, he always told us that if you don't believe me, I'm not the only one out here talking about this information. There's other people that are out here talking about this information. And Zachariah Stitching was one of the authors that he gave up. And he also, like I said, he put in the back of the scrolls Zachariah Stitching's book catalog for you to be able to order any one of his books. So how is that not paying homage, number one? And number two, is Zachariah Stitching, who was alive at the time, had any beef and problems with Dr. York doing so, he would have sued for plagiarization or plagiarizing his work. But he couldn't do that because he knew that he wasn't totally all the way correct in what he was bringing forth from the Sumerian tablets. I don't care what clay tablets, you know what I mean, or the Numian Ilish or the Gilgamesh epics, you know what I mean, that he stumbled upon when he was doing studies on the pyramids. By going to the museums that are in all over Egypt, wherever he was at, Jerusalem, you know what I mean? He saw these clay tablets. So you know what I mean? I'm gonna get on to something now. Your boy Daddy Chucky Buddy said, you know what I mean? Since that's your daddy out there, you know what I mean? I had to address that. my brothers are hitting me and they want to come in, and I don't want to lock them out like that. I was really just doing a quick address. We was gonna really get to videos yesterday, but I'm gonna bring them on the panel. Sorry for the interruption. I can't talk. I don't think in. Oh, I am. I can talk in. All right. So just give me 1 second, so because I want to read something that Bobby and Saxon out that he just addressed on his breaking news about Batty Chuck. You know what I mean? Yes, I'm still here. Sorry about that. Just real quick, bring my brothers in real quick. All right. I sent y'all just now. I sent y'all y'all. They also was invited too, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, just sent it to him. I don't know why he didn't pick up. All right. There you go. I think that's him. All right. So, all right. So let me finish addressing what I was addressing, and then anything my brothers want to say, they could say. Um, I was gonna check shit, right? Yeah. Hmm. Um, Here we go. All right. My brother asked Chuck about his web page or something, and I see the whopping assassin addressed that, and he was correct in saying that, don't wave your flag too quick and say hip hop array. People like that with that type of sickness, even if it's not a sickness, even if it's a part of the master teacher's master plan to test all, you know what I mean? Still, I address certain things when it comes to certain shit that's being said, because a lot of people actually that may be want to stay on the path or deal with Dr. York's teachings may be persuaded. But what he said was this dude Robert Black, another dude I be shooting at on Chuck's video, you know what I mean? He asked him what was going on with the YBN website. Was everything okay? And he said, yes, Robert is being updated, clean, scanned for any issues. The site will be up and running shortly. The site is alive and well for more. All right, so I give you a quick update with that to let you know what's truly going on with Chuck, because a person like that is not gonna give up. Even though 690C don't really rock with him like that, or he's not able to use their platform, he's making his own little batty ratty whack ass quote unquote videos now on YouTube. Um back to addressing him though. So this guy Chuck, man. All right. Y'all people actually are waving pom poms and standing behind a dude that said he didn't truly go against the master teacher until 2018. 2012, 2004 or 5, whether I'm wrong or right, he said something to the effect that he was in touch with him through via letters through the jail. He said Dr. York wrote, and he always sent letters back and forth. And then in 2012, some so-called disgruntled fake ass Wahabian followers contacted him and told him about incidents that took place with them and the master teacher, and Chuck believed it and asked him where he addressed it. From addressing it, he became a little fan audience, and he uses this to help pay his son's college tuition and live the luxurious life that he's living over in Hawaii. You know what I mean, with his kids. And he so-called says he don't believe in nothing. He has no type of spirituality. That's number one. So that means a lot of people that's following him and listening to him, y'all motherfuckers is atheists. Words, yes, y'all atheists. You believe in no God. You have no spirituality. You recognize no Most High or any entity for that matter. Bobby Sass used the word God when he was speaking upon things being sacred. You know what I mean? By them using the word God instead of Elohim or whatever other terminology that associates with us. You know? But I'm gonna give you this right here, man. The master teacher, Dr. Malachi Z. York, better known as the Reformer and the Comforter, that was his job. And if you believe, if you're a Christian or whatever, a Muslim, it's in all religions. That man, or the person that you consider to be that man, Melchizedek, El Kadir, El Kidda, or the angel Michael, or when you talk about the Mashiach, the Messiah, Yahshua, Jesus, whatever title you want to call him, he said he would send his comforter in these last days. Now, Dr. York, see this thing, it was supposed to be in a quick message, now it's turning in because it's coming through me. See, the master teacher, Elijah Muhammad, was the true reformer at the time when he was the reformer. And he dropped the ball when the imposter came in and he started paying reverence to this imposter, Wallace Dard Ford, who is not Wali Fard Muhammad, as a law in person. And then he withheld certain information. Why? Because I respect Elijah's call on that. The people wasn't ready. Malachi York came, the people wasn't ready. Not ready. I mean, a lot of you, but a lot of people have awakening, have risen, do recognize some type of spirituality, do recognize that there's some type of energy that's fluctuating on this planet, that's vibrating on a higher frequency that with them, and that's waking them up to this call. Whoever the hell you think this call is coming from. But little do you know that call is coming from the same beings or the same people that Dr. Malachi Z. York associated himself with and gave reverence to within his teachings. So to get back onto that, as him dropping the ball, he said he had to wait till Elijah was out the way to establish what he came to do, because he was always on the scene already. 50s. If I believe correctly, I want to say 54, 55, 56 is when he stepped into the Moorish Science Temple. Then he changed his name to Isa El Hadi Mahdi, which is well known, publicated, and you can find out through social records for Freedom of X information. So now to get back on the reformer job is to do what? and crashes 7 churches. Besides crashing the 7 churches, he has to take what was already there and put it back in its correct form. So if you see that as being plagiarization, meaning of a comforter or a reformer, you're lost and you're ignorant. And yeah, I'm gonna call names like that. What you're doing. That's what you are. You're the sleeping dead. You're blind. Blind leading the blind, like he always said. You could tell a motherfucker where the water at and lead him there, but you can't make him drink him and force him to drink it. But he also had another saying, give some people time, because everyone's DNA does not erupt and explode at the same time. Their body rhythm is on a certain frequency, a tone, a clock to wake up at a certain designated time. But if that's the case, some of you niggas need to speed your clock up. Some of you niggas need to wake up right the fuck now. And I mean right now. Because you could tune in for all this fuckery and entertainment that's going on around here. And the nigga have 3,300 and 400 subscriptions and subscribers. But when a motherfucker dropping some true information or science for your ass, you can't sit there and listen. It always got to be some fuckery involved. Then a nigga rating skyrocket and go high. So I understand some of the tactics Nuada Assassin used for entertainment to get his numbers up, because he's trying to grab a large number of people to wake up what's taking place. But there's some motherfuckers that's out there doing it just out of, say, a fucking hobby. The nigga said this is his hobby. He said he does this just to help add on to pay the bills to put his kids through college. Talk don't give a fuck about you, truthfully. A man, like I said, a man that stayed all the way up until he left the community in 2004 or 5, and then he didn't start banging against the master teacher till 2013 and 14. So y'all niggas dealing with a nigga that may be so-called feeling guilt or feel guilty for the part that he played in. He said he had no awareness that was taking place. Now I could go back through and all the times I was in incarceration and building with brothers that were amongst the community and left, and the only thing they had to say that Doc was fucking other people's wives. Pass your wife off to him before you was able to marry them. That's the only thing I ever heard. I never heard nothing about a child molestation. Not to say like you people say that it didn't take place. In fact, it didn't take place. There's too much pussy running around that he was fucking. He was fucking so many women and people's girl, and him and his brothers and them passing it off. Just keep it funky. All right. So you mad at a man that was fucking other people's wives or fucking other people's girls, and at the same time, truthfully, nobody don't want to tell the truth that a lot of them people wives threw themselves at the master teacher. This nigga Noel's sister said we was in love with him 13, 14, 12 years old, dreaming of the day to be with the master teacher. But when he chose you, or your parent gave him up to you to be married at 17 or whatever age you married him, you couldn't take that you was being taken out of the slums, out of Brooklyn, and brought to Jabiaza to live on a land that had nothing but culture. Away from all the fuckery of the dunya, as Doc used to say. In the free world, the world out there is the dunya. Or as the Muslims say, or the Islamic community says, the dunya. Couldn't take that. So now you mad. And you start feeling sour toward the man. But then you stay even when you become a grown person. Now people say, you know, people brainwash. You could be brainwashed. You could be computerized. You could be programmed. Yes, you can. If you claim to be so smart, Chuck and the rest of you motherfuckers, how you didn't see all that when you was in the community? How you didn't, all that studying and knowledge that you said you had, which I know you had because I know you was a debater for without you telling me. I know you was one of the fluents. That's why I couldn't wait that time for you to come back so I could build with you. Because I had someone at least that was at my level of information or close to my level of information. Because truthfully, you niggas was still lost. You wasn't dealing with what I was dealing with because I already was woken and broke from the spell. So I wasn't following no man. Dr. York. I didn't get within the teachings to follow him or to be a Nuwabian. I was quote unquote living inside the tabernacle because I knew what was taking place inside the tabernacle. I knew things that was going on that wasn't for me to be out in the dunya, to be out in the world, to propagate the message that I already was in tune with and was teaching before I started picking up the books or the scrolls of the master teacher. You know what I mean? So to go in to say like I was saying, Doc said, you know what I mean? That he came to reform all information, even Elijah Muhammad's information. And you don't see them slandering Dr. York. You didn't see Farrakhan slandering him. Why? Because all them niggas was subscribed to Dr. Malachi Z. York. They was at the top of his book list as far as ordering books. Number one. You know what I mean? So yeah, Dr. York, we did Theology of Time, what was the tapes? The light tapes, right? McCool, what was the actual name for the light tapes?
True Light.
Huh? True Light tapes. Yeah, he took those things and all he did was he didn't steal or plagiarize it. What he did was put the information that was missing in it. He put that information towards it. So it's like if me and the gods are standing in a cipher and we building, standing amongst us, it's called add-on. God, you want to add on to the bill? Yes, I do. Now at the same time, it's called a every 25,000 years, you're supposed to renew your history and your math. So that information that Elijah brought was in due time to be renewed. 1993, actually, if you deal with our calendar, and when I do this next show, I'm gonna play an excerpt from Doc's classes where he breaks this down about the time and him giving out fake dates and time to certain ones. So you can witness it for yourself to hear it. So you won't say, I'm just making some shit up. See, I started this platform off to get a buzz, to attack, yes. Come together and realize what they doing, yes. To know that we are family, yes. But y'all don't own the Wapo. And that is always being upgraded. And they're all out here that are part of the master plan because we are the masses that came in with him. You know what I mean? And if we didn't come in with him, we came incarnated or reincarnated here to add on because we in that time where it's time for them to those star people to come back here in abundance. So you know what I mean? I ain't gonna too much banging on the brother Nwapin Assassin. I respected him coming on my show, on my platform. And brother, no, I do have an Egyptian name, but that's my sacred own name. And like that are not sacred to the teachers of the orders, I don't give that out to people if you're not a Cosmosian. Yeah. Because it's not to be. So you have these brothers with their AEO names and their Cosmosian names on Facebook page, or they walking around using these titles when they're out of line. Period. I'm in agreement with you because when I was in jail and I saw the catalog and I came home and I got on the computer and I seen that all these orders was, you could just order them. I'm like, who the fuck did that? But those are those disgruntled motherfuckers that's out here saying that the order is closed. That the Imam order is closed. You can never close a celestial order. That came from on high. Dr. Malachi Z. York made up. That came from on high. That's in the Bible. From the beginning, the only person, like Imam Isa said, or Dr. Malachi Z. York said, that was mentioned in the Bible, in the Quran, from the beginning, in the end, in the New Testament, in the Old Testament, Alpha and Omega, was Melchizedek, and who? Yahshua, who? The Messiah. And Yahshua came after the order of who? Melchizedek, and became kings of all kings, high priests of all high priests. That's why his job was, as he came in, as my brother Yahweh always says, he never stopped saying that he came in to herald in the true and living Messiah. He never stopped saying that. I don't care what school he went through, he took you to. Egypt, whatever. Fine, keep Egypt, because he said there was people on the scene waiting for me in those schools. Some of y'all are incarnations or unwrapped mummies from that time, period. So yeah, but never try to duplicate and knock out what he truly said. Y'all niggas keep lying, and that's the problem I had. That's when I bang on y'all. Because you lying. The master teacher never stopped saying they're hurling the true and living Messiah. I don't give a fuck if he said every person in the Bible was fake and they didn't never exist. But in that last class he had, he said he lied for 30 years and he recognizes when Jesus saved his life because he had a heart attack and he brought him back to life. He said he lied when he said that all those people didn't exist. But when he was saying they didn't exist, he was talking about in the Edomite form. More than one Adam. The Edomites, the Canaanites, the real Canaanites, they had their own Adam and Eve, which was Adam and Lilith. Edomites of what? The descendants of what you call the white man today. You see? So he said those people they talking about in the Bible, they're talking about white people. They talking about white Abraham, not Ibrahim, white Noah, not Nufistum. So when you understand the teachers first before you come out here running around running your fucking mouth. So I'm in agreement with you on that, Nuwab, in a sense. That's a fact. That shit should not be out there. And you're right. The AEO was never official order. No one ever was really truly initiated in a proper way. And you know why? Like you said, because niggas is disclosing secret information. That's why he stopped the Sufi order and the green light order. Because he said dudes was giving it to their family members and people was using these powers in the wrong way. They was learning how to levitate. They was learning how to astral plane, and they was using it the wrong way, like the movie Jump. Nigga running around robbing banks. If you was given these powers, you would start changing things that wasn't time yet to be changed. So no, the AEO order was not in full effect, but the extraterrestrial order is. And we about to get to that in a minute. The holder of that is the Mashiach, El Raul Shilanu. He's over the AEO. And that's as far as I'm gonna go with that. For now, because you niggas still ain't ready. So I had a Stone Cold Blast on Freestyle Friday. You know, I didn't expect all those things to jump off like that. I didn't expect Nuwab Assassin to pop out of nowhere. I asked the Dawn Nicole Leon to come on before we started programming. She'll come on after her show, which is from 9 to 1. And at 1 o'clock she'll be free. And then Comanche sent me a link, sent me a message saying send me the link. It just so happened all these people fell in like it was supposed to do. See, this is how you recognize confirmation that you're at the right place at the right time. All those things took place for a reason to happen at that time. You know what I mean? But if we're gonna be family, be family. Don't try to knock and say what I'm doing and saying I'm wrong and I'm out of order. I don't know nothing. And I go by Black Sun. And I spell it with a Z for the zigzag zigala. Black Sun, which I am. You know what I mean? Not for Zuin or any other demonic thing that people want to associate my name with, or that Z with, or that Zun with. Because that Zun is just sun. The original S was a Z. See? And what shape is on a craft when you enter the craft is in a Z shape form that you have to go through to make it. You know what I mean? When you enter the gates. So, we gonna give y'all that Crystal City Lights thing coming down because it's coming. It's we gonna, and I didn't want to do the show without all my brothers. Everybody wasn't there last night, and that's some pertinent information. Also, give more time to bring some more dialect to it, to the format with it. You know, like videos and such, or maybe readings. You know what I mean? But we got enough information amongst us, the masses, at this round table to properly pass that information on. So that's the job of a reformer, y'all. That's what a reformer comes to do. Size for him to do. So when Elijah Muhammad died and the devil got an extension of 30 years, Dr. York had to step on the scene. Reformer has to come before the grateful day of the Lord. And that's who he was. So yeah, he had to take everyone's, ain't no black man on this fucking planet ever took everything within your know or not knowing and put it all together and formulated the way he formulated it. Dude, hats is off to that shit. Who took everything that was ours and put it together for us? See, that's what the saying goes in. You can shoot the messenger, but you can't shoot the message, my man. If you niggas is so you know the saying. Fucking Elijah Muhammad wasn't perfect. Farrakhan ain't perfect. Robert D. Muhammad ain't perfect. Don Napoleon ain't perfect. Nawabi Assassin ain't perfect. Comanche Boone was not perfect. Babylon Dawn is not perfect. Black Sun is not perfect. Gregory Jackson is not perfect. This is why you had to learn to balance your disagreeable and your agreeable side. Doc said you can't be too agreeable. You can't be too disagreeable. You have to balance your nature out. Be able to see with a true eye. Then you'll be able to judge and give justice right. So all the pointing fingers and this and this and this and that, hey, clean your own backyard before you point your hands at other people, man. You know what I mean? And that's why, and the crazy thing that happened on the show, when the show name was, what was the name of the show? We was born to be tested. We was all born to be tested. And we was all born for these lessons. Because out of these tests and life experiences is how you get your sound right reasoning. And you overstand the lessons. You leave understanding alone. You leave belief alone. You leave believing alone. You leave those things alone, man. Now, like Doc said, man, it's sad, but everyone is not gonna make it. And even some of those that are lost under those schools of Christianity, whatever, they're pure in their heart. Their heart is pure enough to make it to the next level, because you're only held accountable for what you know, what you know. You're not held accountable for what you do not know. You're not held accountable for that. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna big up Nuwab Assassin again on something else. He said, fasting is good for anybody. Fasting is good for everyone. I I I fast daily. So me taking 30 days or 9 days, no, I eat like that anyway. You know what I mean? From the day I became was a part of association with the Five Percent Nation of Islam, I fast daily like that. Sometimes I won't eat for a whole couple days until the sun go down. I stay fasting. I don't eat food like that unless I'm truly hungry. You know what I mean? I'm not with gluttonous. If my body ain't calling for it, I don't do it. You know what I mean? But I stay on a fast daily. I always fast, and it's good for you. It's good to fast, and I'm glad them brothers are stepping up and doing a purification uh, to do a fast. And I also big them up for apologizing to Command Bruno. This is why I fuck with New Abin. You know what I mean? I be jabbing at him, but from the day we met each other, you know what I mean? We still always kept kicked it behind the scenes, on the scene. You know what I mean? And he's the only one that had the heart to come on my platform, not even on my platform or our platform, to say something on our video in the chat. Because I addressed him on that. Niggas don't say nothing on our videos, but we be in everybody's shit. Still sharp as steel, iron sharp as iron. Disagree to agree. With those that's truly got goodness in their heart. Because a motherfucker that ain't doing just being disagreeable or ain't sharpening their steel, I don't have time for it. I don't fuck with it. You a waste of energy. You are what you call electromagnetic neutron mass. Period. You're just the dust that's used to be recycled. Live on. You don't come back to life. You don't incarnate. You don't reincarnate. You don't go on to the next level. You don't ascend. You dead weight, in other words. You fucking dead weight, in other words. So with that, covered everything I really wanted to say. As far as we might be back out at y'all later with a whole show. After I talk with my brothers, but I think that was all I came to address with the batty ass Chuck shit, and then I listened to the Wapians thing right quick. And plus, it things kicked off on the show to after the show, and I wanted to address, even though I'm gonna address it on the show anyway. Babylon Dawn say he wants to come on the show and explain himself, address any issues with anyone that want to address issues with him. You know what I mean? And he has no problem doing it with Don Napoleon as long as each one is able to speak. You know what I mean? And that's it. Or he just do it by himself. And, Don, you always welcome to come on the show. This is what family does. See, I don't cause restriction and strife within my family. I don't separate. I know good heart. I know that sister is a part of this. Heavenly, you know what I mean, a part of this. And I know Comanche Bruno and Babylon Dawn is heavenly a part of this. No matter what their past is about, whatever on within their own personal lives. I read energy. That's what I do. I don't judge a motherfucker off a book cover. I read energy. And I can read your energy via text, through Facebook, in person, whatever. I feel you, nigga, and I know what you dealing with, and I know who the fuck you are. You a snake, you a snake. You a clown, you a clown. Like Nwabin said, I ain't got time for some of the fuckery that take place on Facebook. Because a lot of y'all niggas, and it turned into some heated shit. Here you go now, you vampiring my energy. You done sucked up my energy. A little bit off whack. Now I gotta reboot myself and re-energize. But good thing, I'm a Jedi. I'm a Jedi. I'm a Jedi. You know what I mean? I know how to recalibrate myself. And if I don't, my wife will recalibrate me. Vice versa. I send out energy and I heal people. People send out energy and they heal me. And right now, my heart chakra is going off. That's how deep it is. You know what I mean? Resonate with oneself. Get into that sun that's within you. That's what the sun dance is about. It's about rebirthing that spiritual sun within yourself. Not just about the master teacher, Dr. York, in a physical sense or releasing him from jail, but releasing his energy, his soul energy, his sun within him, himself, period, healing. So y'all want to get out the old teachings and you forget that he taught you what the sun chakra, the heart chakra was. When you blow on your hand that heat, lets you know there's a sun. That light in the darkness which you comprehended not. Nigga. See, I could talk some shit if I want to. I could get on some highfalutin intelligent shit if I want to, but I'm me. See? I write how I want to write, talk how I want to talk. That's what Doc taught me. He said, put the bullshit down. Put all that highfalutin intelligent shit down. That's only used for those that think they're intelligent or intellectual. Something scientific for them. I ain't got time to be breaking all this bullshit down for you. He did it for 30 years. Nigga, get it simple and plain how I give it to you. If you can't, fuck you. You'll get it later. I have niggas that come back to me later and say, yo, wow, you just owed me up. Yo, I wasn't in agreements with you then, but I see that shit you talking now. Don't get docked right away or the information right away. But then later on in life, it clicks. Now, those that don't click, like he say, fuck you. I ain't come for you. He came for who he came for, and that's it. All the garbs you want to say you love the master teacher and read his shit. You ain't it. That shit don't make you Nuwabian or Nuwapian or Nunaki or Najiru or Nuteru. I mean, that's it. I mean, y'all brothers, y'all want to say something? Y'all say something. Cause this wasn't meant to be long. I just came in and express myself. But if y'all want to say some things, cause I know you probably do Maku, cause he shot at you on that. He said I wait here no London shit.
Oh yeah? I haven't seen it yet. So, yeah. You know what I was?
All unintended. Because I know you got respect for the Robin Assassin. You the one that said it to me. So
here's my brother.
You know, it's all fun and jest, like he said. You want to shoot, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can do it later if we do another show or whatever.
He knows I only deal with the facts.
You know that's right. That's what he said, yeah.
Ain't no slander. I don't slander no one. You get me? With me and him, sometimes it's jokes. You get me? Because he got a sharp tongue and I got a sharp tongue. But when we get to the facts of the matter, my questions can't be answered. I just get thrown comments about, learn religion and all this type of stuff. I mean, learn the language and all that type of stuff, which is kind of ridiculous. You know what I mean? I'm still trying to get to grips with Nuwabi all these years.
Yeah.
And then these guys are talking about Nuwapuri. But my thing is, it doesn't correlate. It don't correlate to the ancestors. It doesn't correlate to the old languages. And we linguists, we study language. So we study the root of language and that. Please, bro. You know what I mean? But when you see me, obviously, when you hear me, I'm talking.
What's your phone, honey? What's your phone?
I think it's because
now his
I was
phone
a little
was
bit disappointed.
I think he was trying to say peace and blessings, but it started staticking first. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think he was the assassin, is just a bit confused with some of the information. I mean, I personally think the word agent, seems to get attached to him a lot because he says things that I would consider an agent to say, like, where is the master teacher? My question is, who wants to know? You know what I mean? If you're getting access, if you're getting books from him, and if you're getting all these things from him, why are you asking me? I'm just stating that Dr. Malachi Z. York is not incarcerated. And I want to know who Dwight York is. That's all. No, because of that, man want to cut me off shows and do all that. And then that I knew thing, well, we just don't want to go there. Y'all gonna catch up eventually. You get what I'm saying? And earlier, I did make the point about the schools and the names being used. All this Yanoon and, you know what I mean? I said it time before that there is restricted to the schools. And why using intergalactical names when you should be using terrestrial? Or what is familiar is the word I say. What is familiar to you? You know what I mean? But we still having problems with the titles and the, you know, oh, I'm a Nawabian, we Nawabians and Wapians, and please. You know what I mean? Name the first tribe, man. These are all just basic things that you're supposed to do, man. A lot of it hasn't got nothing to do with the master teacher. As I said, you're supposed to absorb those books. You want to put them down, put them to the side, put them under your bed, sell them. Do you know what I'm saying? Then you struggling with the PDF version, and all, that's your own business. But you are not an authority on anything, to be honest. You know what I mean? You always talking about people staying in their lane. I think you should stay in yours. You're doing good with the calendar and the supposed language. You know what I mean? But anything factual, case, thing, going into debates with people, I mean, you embarrassed us. That's all. That's all the dabs and the jabs were about. You embarrassed us. You cut us out, you know what I mean? You join forces with other people against us, you know what I mean? Supposedly. That's where it's all coming from. We never had no animosity towards no one. All the sorry, I ain't heard from him. I don't know how you can have an argument with someone or a disagreement with someone and it can't be resolved. That's what communication and conversation is about. And we're supposed to be,
true.
You know what I'm saying? Nubians.
Yeah, true.
We're supposed to be family, so it's just bad behavior. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But other than that, yeah, what happened the other night, yeah, no problem. You know, because me and the assassin, I mean, I didn't even get to ask him the questions I wanted to ask him. You know?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, so.
You know, he know how to barber weave real good.
Yeah.
He come and get what he come and get, and then he leave.
Anytime he's ready, he can come and check me on the facts of anything he's confused about.
But I give the brother that he open. He'll listen.
Yeah, definitely.
At least he'll listen. Some niggas don't even want to take the time to listen, and he'll correct
himself.
I
think he broke down some good stuff even in the show, but it was just applied to the people around him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he made some good points. Yeah, he made some good points. He started to connect the dots. You know what I mean? Yeah. But what you explained is what he's doing, as in supposedly leaving people to their jobs. No, you're not. You're not meant to do that. You're meant to critique them, man. You're meant to question them. Make sure they do it properly. There's nothing wrong in that. You know what I mean? All of a sudden you're disagreeable for doing that. Yeah, obviously. Because we disagree. The job's not being done correctly. 15 years and 16 years and standing. Obviously nothing has worked. Nothing. Not a son does, it's all been done before. Petition, all been done before. I paid down money. I read out the petition. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We bought the books, but at least we were genuinely buying, you know, the right books at the time.
Yeah.
It's only more recently I withhold the right to support the supposed Nuwapu, you know, everything changed as far as I'm concerned.
Right. But that's their school.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's your language, and I respect that's your language. But don't push that on everybody.
No. And don't say we behind or we slow and think. I can't answer a question. You know what I mean? You have to wait a week. You have to go and consult some elders or something, you know? Or wait for some update or some information that is questionable. We don't have these problems. We don't have these issues. We don't have these questions. My question is, what's the next question? Has anyone genuinely got a proper question to ask? You know?
Yeah.
When people come with questions like how we going to move forward or what we going to do, are we going to unite? Nah, forget the unity. It's time to bang the grass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Time to bang the grass.
Time to bang the grass, that's it. You know what I mean? But
Get
as for family, no man, we always argue and thing. It's never personal. You know what I mean? It's just personal in the sense of doctrine. If you want to say doctrine, I say he says doctrine, I say way of life. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm just going to stick with what the master teacher taught and, you know, expounded on. And that was the basis of my learning. It wasn't that just that I learned. Like you're saying, it's not just the holy tablets, it's what it led on to. It's my standing, it's where I am, it's how people perceive me now. Now I'm manifesting that God self. When people stop me and say, oh, you're so intelligent, you're so smart.
Right.
I ain't running around saying, yeah, well, if you, Dr. York said, Dr. York said, Dr. York said, Dr. York said, ain't no parrot or a robot.
Right.
I got love for him. He was one of my greatest teachers. He is the greatest teacher I ever had. I had many teachers, yeah, but I said I done graduated.
Right.
I ain't concerned about his health because I know who he is.
Right.
I ain't concerned about where he is because I know who he is.
He is. There you go.
So, you know, I don't put myself in all these little boxes that they're all trying to put themselves in, and, you know, it's too much. What school of thought was that, you know? Some is culture, cult, whatever they want to say. He broke that down. People can say to me, oh, yeah, you're in a cult. Thank you very much. Ain't no issue. That's physical. That's titles. That's conversation. Why would I get upset about it when I got right knowledge? We're the ones who's standing on the side of right, so, you know. But if people want to disagree and argue and throw slander, I mean, I tried to intervene in with the Comanche, and if that was her writing messages in the chat the other day, you know what I mean? I'm seeing some internal snake tongue coughing curse working. We didn't know about none of this. We knew what bad-minded, disagreeable, you know, Nigarus. We know about all that. We know the limits even of our people. So yeah, as you said before, you know, nobody's perfect. And we should be comfortable in that. You know what I mean? And all these things are experiences. Anything you've done or you think, and you constantly make the same mistake until you stop making that mistake. That was your lesson. That was your 120 lesson for that period, for that time, for that, you know? Now I'm saying to these new abbeys, where you at, man? Where you at mentally? Because some of y'all are sick and you're pretending like you're not sick. Well, I'm fine. You know? Rubber bands. Y'all need to wake up and smell the coffee and step out of that religious mindset. Holier than thou.
Yeah. It's time to pick up the rope.
Yep. I'm saying, get up, leave your house, take your family to the park, go drink a beer, smoke on a little twin, and relax. There's more to life than these titles and these things, you know what I mean? Oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. You're rushing up and down, to-ing and fro-ing in the earth. Huh.
Right.
Sound familiar? Yeah? Mm-hmm. People to-ing and fro-ing, to-ing and fro-ing, to-ing and fro-ing. Bitching, backbiting, bitching. Not recognizing the God self or the God in anyone else. That's always going to cause argument and contention. When some believe and some know. I'm at the knowing side with the other knowers. I'm not on that belief. I don't believe he's in jail. I don't believe in religion. You know? But I know what I know. I know there's a Messiah. I know that, you know what I mean? I know what the master teacher came to do. I know that he did say that constantly. Because in the actual fact, how are you going to recognize the Messiah? You ain't even going to know what he looks like. Now you got image, you got everything. So don't be in no doubt. You're right. You know? It wasn't a lie as far as what the information that he gave out. No, there wasn't no lie. But in the European sense, that information, yeah, that's a lie. Who the hell was Jesus? They didn't know Jesus. We know that's a fabricated story, you know? It's just knowledge, research, you know? You got other people talking about Serapis. They got the idea of Jesus from Serapis. So then, in fact, the master teacher is correct. And you know, these Europeans have to redress and update their information. But they never say sorry. They never say, oh, sorry, we made a mistake back then. And now we just update it. They just update. Like when they add Aramic to their information. They didn't know about Aramic when I knew about Aramic, when the master teacher taught about Aramic. Then it's coming out in movies. Then I'm watching documentaries. People going to Israel and in the village, grandma is the one speaking Arabic. I don't speak it generally. I speak in another language, totally, in fact. So all these things are facts and true and just very, you know. If I'm going to be in awe of the master teacher, it's about the information. Like, how did this one man know? Well, if you don't have right knowledge, if you don't know what he said is true, then you're just going to be at belief. Nah, he never done that. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Well, yeah, exactly. Because you don't know.
Right, but you believe Zechariah's stitching.
Exactly.
It's like niggas is taking niggas backwards. Taking you out of right now, it's taking you backwards to go right back to the European science.
That's right.
It's crazy. When the master teacher himself, when the man said himself, don't believe nothing I say, the reverend say, or your imam says,
yeah.
Do your own research and find out. So that was a given. He told you that because he knew people weren't going to believe it, wasn't going to acknowledge it. But if they did the research, they would see that these people or this place existed.
That's a fact. He knew. He said it. You
Hey,
feel me?
peace, peace,
Yeah.
peace,
Peace.
peace. How you doing? Peace. You know, Master Makul,
Yeah, peace.
Malachi. I just want to just add in right quick. This is
Right.
unique that y'all are having this. I want to call it a discussion because we do so much more than that. You know, it's more of a progression. The way that I look at it. Just give me a mic check. Can y'all hear me clearly? Because I like to be clear about what I'm about to convey. Okay. Can y'all hear? Can I get a mic check? Do I sound clear?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
clear. You just got that wind behind you, bro.
Okay. I just cut that off. Okay. Look. Let me see if I can share something with the family right quick. And I'm gonna call this the mystery of the Messiah. Okay. A lot of people don't realize that when the Messiah is supposed to come, according to religious teachings, right? Many people have read about qualities, the different miraculous abilities that the Messiah would have. Okay, and you look at a nation of people that's divided against themselves, right? Pretty much worldwide, especially over here in America. And what I find ironic is you got all kind of people, especially in the religious arena. Start with them first. They have been reading stuff for aeons of time about people that they only read about in a book, but they haven't seen a person that actually have done even the Messiah 2,000 years ago. When you really, for this is for the people who want facts. When you really get to the fact of the matter, the Messiah of 2,000 years ago, according to the scripture, according to the Torah, he hasn't came yet, but actually he is. Really look at it, because according to the Torah, it says that this Messiah, this is key, will unite all 12 tribes according to the Israelite or that particular school of thought. Okay, that's the key point right there. The Israelite Messiah would be one that would unite them all. Okay, now if you look at the Messiah according to what most people call Jesus Christ or Isa al-Masih, because you know the Quran in there too, al-Islam, because they're all following a similar pattern. And they're all following a pattern that started from one book to another. Okay, so regardless to how much they want to try to pretend that they're separate from one another, that's nothing but, as the sacred spiritual master teacher have taught about, called God games. That's the God games, or the games that God plays. Okay, and if God is not playing games, then the human beings or the adherents of these religions are playing games, or either both of them are playing games. All right, or running game. Said that to say this: when you really go for anyone who actually was a student of Judaism, and you study according to what that Messiah was supposed to do, according to the Old Testament, from Bereshit, Genesis, all the way throughout the books of Malachi, as well as the books of the prophets. We know that even that was split up into three parts. You got the Torah, you got the Ketuvim, the writings, and you got the Nevi, the books of the prophets. Okay, that's a little tidbit for some people who need it. All right. So that Messiah was going to be one that comes and unite all of these tribes according to Scripture, whether it's real or imagined, according to what's written. Right. Then you take the Jesus Christ of 2,000 years ago. There's nowhere in that particular, and this is Resurrection Sunday. It's pretty unique that I'm even allow myself to be zoned in on, talking about the oversoul, right? So this is what needs to be conveyed. So I'm going to do my best to convey it as I receive it and give it out, right? Resurrection Sunday. right? According to the Jesus Christ of 2,000 years ago, he didn't do that. There's no way, no matter how much they want to try to argue, pretend that he didn't unite all 12 tribes. Okay? So I'm saying all that to make this point here. So here comes, during our day and time, speed it up. In our day and time, from according to some, the 1960s, according to others, the 1970s, and according to others, you got the 80s and the 90s, all the way up to the year 2000. You take a extraordinary being that had the ability, similar to what I was saying the other night, that had the unique ability, right? You call him what you want to call him. He's been called all kinds of things, right? So this is the key point what I'm making. See, he always spoke about a Messiah, even though the critics would, try to say, okay, well, he subtly trying to say that he was the Messiah the whole time. So he subtly did that, and he had people paint these pictures to make him look like he was that Messiah, right? So this is key point what I'm sharing with you. First of all, when the real Messiah come, and he did come, right? Because his job, right, to help raise up other messiahs, which is another key point, right? So one Messiah, and it's necessary for one Messiah to come, according to religious teaching, that we unite all 12 tribes or beings on this planet, if you really look at it in a broader scale, right? So you call whatever you want to say about him, not so much what the critics, because I'm not going to give them more energy. I'm going to give the real energy to the real people who need to really hear this and see it for what it really is. We're talking about an extraordinary being that has been with us, that have walked us, and like I was saying the other night, so much more than religion. But since a lot of people wanted to put the sacred spiritual master teacher into a box and make it seem like he was so caught in a religious mindset. But I'm gonna start off with religion since they they're using that as some type of tool to criticize him. But let the facts speak for itself. So you say this one man, people want to argue back and forth whether he was born in America or whether he born in Sudan, and then what they're saying he's born in somewhere in Ghana or Liberia, and all these other things that's happening, whether it's bad or fiction. That's a whole nother argument right there, right? But I don't want the listening audience, and we definitely, us as masters, we don't have this issue at all, because we're not dependent on a so-called Messiah or a Savior outside of ourselves, because we are a part of this. We are the saviors for ourselves of this day and time. And that's not to be disrespectful to the Messiah that did come, that helped raise us as Messiahs and lambs, for those people who want to take that particular title. Okay. So now, if you look at this one extraordinary being, right, that say whether he made it up or whatever, in a short period of time. When I say a short period of time, I'm saying in a course of 45 to 50 years, that he was able to take a confused people that was stripped of their identity, that was stripped of their wealth, that was stripped of their story, that was misplaced, robbed, hung, shot, disrespected, left in a state of confusion. Many people came before this guy, this man. Okay? So, you say what you want to say about him, but thanks to the Most High, or as I like to say, all in all, it's just one man was able to reach us on an individual level, and he was able to reach us as a collective, irregardless to wherever we were on this planet. This one man did that. Okay? Even now, as divided as what? And see, that's the illusion. Okay? The illusion is that we're still so divided we never get it together. That's the illusion. I don't want people to get caught up in that. We as a family, we don't always, and please hear me clearly what I'm about to say right now. This is key. We don't have to agree 100% on everything. That's not going to happen. It's too late in the game. Okay? For a lot of people, and this might be heartbreaking to some other people, we are not, and I'm not saying this to be critical. I'm saying this just because of Alan. Okay, reality, fact of the matter is that we have our own mindset, and we have our way of doing things. So there's gonna be a small chance in hell that all of us is gonna agree 100% of the time. What I'm seeing as a master sound therapist, you know, is that it's okay. We don't have to. That's too much of a burden. We don't have to. We don't have to agree on 100% of things. Only thing that we need to agree on is, I won't say 100% of it, but we need to agree on what matters most. Okay, put the bull spit aside, and when it comes down to what matters most, is our life. What matters most is for us to get beyond this survival mode that a lot of us have clicked in. We got to get beyond it. We got to get beyond, you know, whether something's fact or fiction and all these other things that's been holding our process. You know, this ain't a new word, but I said it before. When people tap into divine truth, you don't have to argue back and forth. Once you know. But see, here's key though. Here's a major key that a lot of people miss. And I'm going to offer this key. I'm going to offer this key to the listening audience. The reason why a lot of people want to argue back and forth is because they haven't, and Master McCool, this is for you, man. They haven't got to the point where they know. They can pretend that they fact this and they can pretend that they fact that, but they don't really know. Most so-called students, all they know is what, you know, even the sacred spiritual master teacher, who I love and respect, they know what he put in his books or scrolls or pamphlets, whatever. Yeah, they know that. They can quote that verbatim. Most of them can quote that verbatim, right? And they can speak about how his miraculous experience and this and that and his travels. They can do that verbatim. But the average one can't do that about their own life. Okay? But it was never meant to be that. And I'm saying that is because I know this is extraordinary being, you know, from 26, 27 and years of counting, out of me walking not behind but side by side and studied him diligently. Okay, so I'm not speaking from hearsay. I'm not speaking from what the so-called internet say. I'm not speaking from what the media and the devil put out about this extraordinary being's life. I'm not speaking from a disgruntled follower point of view. I'm speaking from a person that have tried and tested him as far back as, here's the date for you, June 26, 1991. Okay, when I came from the nation of gods and goddesses, gods and earth. Okay, it wasn't easy. It wasn't something I just accepted. He had to be tried and proven in order for me to go further into me being able to understand his methodology and understand what he was actually getting at. I fought it tooth and nail. I tell anyone that, and y'all are getting it live and direct right now. It wasn't something I just accepted. And it's not something that he just wanted. Any real student never wanted a follower. He never wanted people to just accept what he had to say. And here's the thing that gets me about Melanites. Here's the thing that gets me about Melanites is they will fight him tooth and nail. They will fight him tooth and nail and call him all kinds of things, right? But they don't have all of that aggression when it comes to the pale man or when it comes to any other man, so-called Arab man, with his Quran or his version of Quran. They don't have that same aggression with this so-called Jews who put forth, you know, their version of the Tanakh, the Torah, and all of these writings. But they don't have that. All of that aggression is gone. And this is the thing that gets me. Okay, this is the thing that gets me. Even when it comes to when someone does something in the Melanite race, where's all that damn aggression? You know, we can have all kind of aggression when we're at each other. You know, when we're being catty at one another. But soon as a person or people from another race do something to one of us, all that damn aggression, and I'm talking about as a whole, but you got some of us, like me, right? You got some of us like me, all that shit goes out the window. It goes out the window. Like I say to people, you know, I know who's real and I know who's not, but I will say this, live and direct. A lot of people is not willing, ready, and able to take it as far as I'm willing to take it. But that's besides the point. Let me get back to what I'm saying. When the Messiah was to come according to prophecy, and when the king, because he did come, right? Again, the key point is his job was to help raise up other messiahs, to not do just what he did, to open the eyes of the blind, you know, to help open the ears of the deaf. And this is the key point. It was mainly talking about inner hearing, the deaf of the inner hearing, the ones who can't comprehend them. They can read all they want to, but reading and comprehension is two separate things. This is for the avid reader, or the people who's got this thing that they want to, you know, where's the latest book at? Who's got the latest information? That's a thing. That's an information thing. Okay? But then you got inner seeing, inner vision. Okay? Inner vision where you'll be able to see things clearly. You might not fully understand, and this is what I liked about what was being shared with the Sundance Festival. Because one of the things that sparked my interest is when I think it was even humanity, when she had mentioned that there's a portion of it is done in silence. And I was trying to reiterate. See, a lot of people take silence for granted. You know, silence is sound. You know, that's a whole nother thing what I want to get. And I want to put these keys out there because the key is because you take people that have been stripped of everything, that can't think on their own, that can't think enough. And he tried, talking about the sacred spiritual master teacher, as well as many others who came before him, right? He tried his best so we'll be able to figure things out for ourselves. It's not rocket science. The same way any infant, the same way any couple or people who's living now that had parents, right? They come together to give birth, to help create children of the world with the potential for that child to be able to grow up to be an adult. So to be able to grow up and be able to have their own children. It's the same thing when you look at it religiously. It's the same thing when you look at it in a spiritual manner. No master, and I'm saying this now because this is part of what I'm getting ready to unleash on this world as far as the master's way perspective. No master, including the sacred spiritual master teacher, as I call it. No master that has ever came, even the ones that's here, myself included, can ever teach a student everything that a student is supposed to learn. First of all, it would stop that student's growth. Okay? Because the real potential is for that potential student or addict or whatever you want to call them, is to be able to figure things out for themselves. Bruce Leroy. This is for the Bruce Leroys who's listening. Okay? You're supposed to get to a point where you stop. You should be able to figure things out on your own by now. Okay? So that was the real Messiah's job. And it kind of reminded me of this little scroll that he did. That was one of the most powerful books that he did. And I suggest people get a copy of that. Get the PDF if you can't get the real copy. Called The Real Messiah. Or The Real Jesus, I think. But both of them are good, but it's called The Real Jesus. Get that one. I think it had like a pink type of a lavender color that says The Real Jesus, written by Dr. Malachi Z. York, one of the little small pocketbook scrolls, no more than about 100 pages. That's a very, very powerful book. Because in that, like, and this is my cool, this is for you, fam. That's my cool, this is for you. You're supposed to absorb the book. You're not supposed to just to read the book, comprehend the book, but absorb it like I did it now. Like what I'm about to do now. Because of the vital key point that he made in there. He said when the real Messiah comes, you're not gonna reject the Messiah, are you? When he comes, you're not gonna reject him, are you? Okay? So there was a question that was put there even in that book. Okay? Because those people who do accept the real Messiah, he didn't have to necessarily announce himself to the world. People will recognize, this is the key point, people will recognize the real Messiah by what he's able to do, according to prophecy, by what he's able to do in his lifetime. And people say what they want to say about the sacred spiritual master teacher, but he did it. People criticize about how he went about doing it, but he did it. And I'm talking about worldwide. People can't say that about Yahshua HaMashiach according to Judaic doctrine. They can't say that about Jesus Christ according to Christianity. They can't say that about Isa el-Masih according to Islam. None of them can say that. They can't even say that about Prophet Muhammad. Okay? None of them have ever been on record during their period of time where they were able to unite the whole world. They might have united the tribe during their time. Okay? Even Jesus 2,000 years ago, according to what was written, he said so himself, according to the red letters, printed letters, inside the Bible that they have nowadays. He said, I come not, what do you say? I wasn't sent to the whole world. Okay? I was sent to everybody. Right? I was only sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Israel. Correct.
You understand? So he didn't come for the whole world. He didn't come for all 12 tribes according to what was written, according to the religious state of mind. So I said all that religiously. Now I want to get into the so-called conscious community. Nobody, no leader, or whatever you want to call themselves, in the so-called conscious community before Dr. Malachi Ezekiel was able to do what he did. Okay? You say what you want to say about him, right? But he was able to take it from the Nubian Islamic Hebrews and Salah community straight on down the nation building, Nubian nation, right? From Nubian nation to the Holy Tabernacle Ministries. All of these mystery schools that was being taught at the same time. And I'm talking about providing clothes, food, clothing, shelter, culture, doctrine. No other leader on this planet besides him took time to do that. And y'all got the nerves to criticize him? But you know what, though? It's not really the people who don't really know him, see, that's doing it. They're not the issue. It's not even the pale man and the devil who's controlling the media and the devil. They're not taking time to do that. Okay? The ones who's the biggest nuisance is the idiots out here. It's the so-called followers, the so-called astronomers. Okay? But that's their issue. So I said all that. That's to pretty much say this: that the real Messiah, according to prophecy, was able to do what the sacred spiritual master teacher was able to do. And don't let that fall. I'm saying this to the listening audience and those people who are really, really sincere. They're not just a mere follower, but they're moving. They're moving on with their life. Okay, it's about our life. It's about us doing something for ourselves. That's the way it's always been. Okay, it's about those of us, like us, who gather from time to time, the brilliant minds that's on this forum, and the brilliant minds that's raising up all over the world. We are doing what we're supposed to do to help make things better for ourselves and each other. That's when you know it's real. This is not just a religious or a fictitious type of thing that we're talking about here. This is a real life, and it's not just about one person. It's not just about one person. It's about all of us. Okay? So on that particular note, I'm going to put this on pause for the next master to let his voice be heard.
All right, Coney. Good shit. Good shit. This was supposed to be a quick message, but it is what it is. Sometimes you, like I told him, like you never know what's gonna go on over here on this platform. When we go in, we go in. But Malachi, I saw what you was texting down there. I was so into what I was doing, I didn't even go to check because I wasn't really doing this to really let people know that I'm live and all that. I just was going in. But saying inside the say something. Say what you were saying inside of there, Malachi, in the chat when you said about that
Let me see.
and Elijah behind.
Oh yeah,
Where
Elijah
you got it
Muhammad.
from?
He was what he quoted the one after me. I did not come to teach Islam. The one after me would teach Islam. You know what I'm saying? Therefore, I mean, when you put the puzzle together, I can't see the mission. You know what I'm saying? Are they, you know what I mean? When you see dudes dressed up a certain way and you see type orders and you really get into the Freemason talk, you know there's a mission out inside the mission. And if niggas can't recognize who is
Right. I like how.
who is who, and the titles that they come with,
Wow.
then motherfuckers is just blind. You know what I'm saying? It's just, at this point,
But but the one who came after him was who to do what? Cut it short. I know it's like a hidden message within the message, like you pick it up yourself.
I mean, I'm dealing with Elijah and Malachi.
Exactly.
That's what I'm dealing with.
That was the one that came with his.
And that's
So
exactly what he did. And he knew them. That's what I'm saying. When you know the mission, you pick it up where it's left off at. That goes for even Elijah Muhammad when it comes to Noble Drew Ali and that movement, what they was doing early in the 1900s. You know what I'm saying?
and he paid homage to his master teacher.
Right.
You know what I mean? The one that he was under, that was teaching. So don't say he didn't because he wrote a book called Sheikh Dua versus Wali Fuad Muhammad. And he put his picture in there, and his picture's in the Holy Tablet too. So what that,
Facts.
you want to say some more? Because I want to just take over from you if you got more to
I'm
say.
good at it. Now I don't want to say much. That's pretty much all I had to say. Cause you know I'm the background working on some things, man. We're gonna come for that. So that's that.
Okay. Some of the things McCool said and Mooney said, right? When you're dealing with these orders, people look at it on a physical sense of going to some lodge and going through initiation. But a true adept is done in a celestial plane. It has to do with the celestial body.
Fact.
That is secret science of the celestial body naturally. So when you adapt within this, it's no mystery only to those that can travel to that level or that degree. And dealing with the vibrations, the tones, the frequencies, the celestial, the ether, the planes. You know what I mean? It's different planes. You know what I mean? And like Cool was saying, you come out of the book and become the book. You become the living soul. You become the living God, Elohim, Neteru, whatever. But those that are actually spiritually initiated or adapt into it, the order. You know what I mean? And you could take that all the way back to when Doc was talking about Cain and Abel. You know, Abel went into the order of Sadakhood, which was a priesthood, and Cain was to go into the order of sin, from Bina, Ishtar. So, like my brother was saying, like if you come with these questions, they will be answered. A level One of us will give it to you. Period. You know what I mean?
And nature.
Those
Let me add to that real quick, Jim.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, cause nature will initiate you. You know what I'm saying? It's a
There you
lightning
go.
storm.
Say that
It's a
again.
thunderstorm. You know what I'm saying? Things take place, and I'm a witness. So I'm speaking from experience. When certain things
Right,
take place, that thunder strikes and everything changes. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a fact. So we're talking about,
right.
like you was just saying, the freaking spiritual plane that has nothing to do with what you're reading and all that dogmatic information. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, like the brother said, nature or natural, this would take place for those or some. Um, wow. Mooney was saying is real talk. You know what I mean? It's many messiahs, and that's what he came to activate the messiahs, the Melchizedeks, the Kohans, whatever way you want to um, pronounce it, perceive it, or interpret it, or translate it. You know, a Kohan priest or priestess, because there's plenty of female messiahs too, and I don't want to leave that out. And that's what Doc taught us, that they try to excommunicate the female from the Bible and not give reverence and due to the female messiah or prophet or priestess. You know what I mean? So in saying so, yeah, that's correct knowledge. You know, he came to make many messiahs and so on and so forth.
Gotta pave the way
But
for the God Queen.
there you go. Bring it back to its natural original order, the mother. That's why it's called the mothership, the mother plane. You know what I mean? Cool, you want to say anything else before we break out? Because this was something just quick I was doing. It was nothing to really
Yeah.
do already.
Yeah, I hear that.
Huh?
Yeah. No, I agree with all of it. I mean, a lot of it is self-explanatory, you know. I mean, if you want the answers to, as Nawabians or whatever they want to say, and they want to, you know, conscious community, well, you know, y'all need to catch up and y'all need to stick to one school. There ain't nothing wrong with being in any of those schools, you know what I mean? Some a little bit behind each other, but what being in Nawabian is all that, and then some. So, you know, if you want the answers, we'll try and help you. Yeah, lead you to the right path. That's a fact. You know what I mean? You can buck dance, you can, you know what I mean? Throw your things out the cot and the pram and all that, you know, but the truth is truth. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. You know what I mean? But there ain't much that we don't know. No one ain't said nothing out here that I watched recently that's anything profound or brand new. So, you know what I mean? It's just life, man. We study life, man. We study nature. We study universe. That's what it is. And apply it as such on a macro, micro, you know, all sorts of scales. But anyway, that was the news for today. Yeah. Yeah, we didn't short and sweet.
Yeah. It definitely is. The news for the day. In the mitochondrial DNA.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm in tune with my feminine side. That's a part of the balance too. It ain't just male, it ain't just female, it's both. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
and that's what we dealing with. Um, wow. Saying that, I think I'm gonna close this out for now. My wife, my wife got a show going on at what time y'all going on? At 5 o'clock, usual, right? Pony Bop, Fatima. The show is at what? 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Um, name of your show gonna be today.
Sound Therapy 101.
All right. So tune in at 5 o'clock to Fatima Makdi's channel. RP 101 with the
You,
master sound therapist Huni Bapatoon,
the magic man.
the sound therapist in sound healing of
Yes,
Fatima
yes,
Makdi.
yes. Oh, we normally get busy as we normally do because we do. And someone said something about new. Here's something new for you. Sound therapy is now becoming a household word. Okay, and it's past that started, many years ago, but now a lot of people starting to catch on and starting to feel the effects of it. It's more than just a reading. This is that's going to be felt from the inside out. Okay, so but, we tried to do it many times before, but speaking with the twin spirit, and she does it best. She said, "Okay, let's go ahead." Even though we don't try to come off as teachers, we just try to come off as being the consultants and doing what we're called to do, right? But this is going to be more of a class setting. We're still going to have our fun. We're still going to do what we do naturally, okay? But we need to go ahead and document just what. Okay, all right. So make way for healing, because that's exactly what it is. That's really what the essence of it. And I want everyone to tune in as we take time to share with the rest of the world, so we can be able to remove any doubt on the significance of what sound therapy is. Okay, and it takes the perfect harmony of sound therapy. Find himself, the measurement. We were prepared to do what we do as a bridge. Bridge. People really need healing. Okay, so I'm ready. From the spirit stage.
So you heard it from the master sound therapist Huni Bapatoon himself. And he said what I was gonna say. I was gonna add on, a or it's new. It's not new. Actually, I as Nubians or Black people, our family members always use music and sound to heal themselves or to soothe themselves or fix themselves. That's why a lot of music was always played in the house, because they was being in tune with the sound, and the sound took them to a place where they was healed or they felt good or made them want to feel good. So it's not really something new, but it's new on a ground form as far as it being a therapy, grabbing the attention of the people to know that that's what it is for you. It's therapy. It's sound therapy and healing for you. It's not so much about teaching you. It's about bringing you to a level of understanding to be in tune with sound. You know what I mean? That's great. So my favorite saying is tune in, tune out, tune in or tune out or get tuned out. Because if you don't tune in, believe me, you're gonna get tuned out.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you, Phenom.
So with that, I'd like to thank those that are on the panel that stepped up. I like to thank the listening audience, whoever was picking up or who received this transmission later. But we ain't, like Honey Bob said on Facebook, we ain't trying to hurt nobody. but just get on down.
That's right. Let's get on down.
Get on down. Get with it.
Hey, and by the way, happy Resurrection Day for those of us of the culture in respect to the illustrious one who gave us a renewed meaning of that. And like I say, resurrection for this day and time means that it ain't no mystery. It's not religious. It just simply means to get up and stand up and rise up, which is what we're doing now.
So peace, shalom, salam alaikum, Rahubat. Rahu is back and hotep to all families. Um and we gonna make it, man. We gonna do this. That's all. Sometimes it takes a little push, a little shove, a little ass whipping, a little what you think is called disrespect or disgruntledness or no. It's just to bring us all back to one accord, a family. Don't forget that. That's what Doc built. He came here, he built family, unity with all denominations, creed, religion, race, or sect. He was big enough, had the big enough ball, and he did it on a grand scale. All the way to Europe, to the UK, to wherever, China, Tibet, Israel, Africa, Guyana, wherever, he did it. South America, North America, whatever. Mexico, wherever, he did it. He all color. So with that, like I said, these are my greetings. I hope you like it. We'll be back at you probably later. Never know with us.